Hey guys, today I'm going to take you guys on a bit of a garden tour. It's not just one garden, nor is it two gardens, and no, 3 gardens, it's still not the magic number. 4 gardens, I think that's more of the magic number. Okay, if you want to include the berry patch, might be 5. If you want to include behind you the food forest, half-acre food forest, could be even more, but I haven't yet started growing annual crops in there yet. It's definitely still on the to-do list. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with garden number 4 and we're going to work down back to garden number 1 that you saw at the start. Okay, garden number 4 over here is where we grew our pumpkins. So we've got a few pumpkins. We didn't get many pumpkins, but I have a lot more growing over there. And right beside the pumpkin patch is the potato patch where we're going to grow a second crop of potato. We've got about 270 odd kgs out of this patch. And then I've tarped it and I was going to leave it to plant another crop, but hasn't happened. Now I've got all these holes in here because Enzo's decided all the time to do zoomies in here, and now he's pretty much decided let's dig a hole in the tarp. See, it's not cool, Enzo. This is destroying property. Here he comes here, look, the culprit. What is this? Huh? Unbelievable. So this patch, even the potatoes, I'm almost getting to the point where I'm going to plant like a permanent crop in there and then just keep planting stuff rather than tarp it every year into the potato. But I haven't got a better spot for the potatoes yet, which I might do with this pumpkin patch. Might make it all go downhill. It's really bad drainage at the moment, and then I might plant heaps of potatoes in here. But that's a whole nother mission. I've actually got to tarp this, weed it and tarp it, so at least it's like gardenable. So this here is the biggest pumpkin I grew this year. I'd say it's about 50 kgs. I definitely can't lift it, and this was just grown around the bananas. There's a few other ones, but they're definitely not as big as this one. Oh, I can't lift it. Oh, it probably is about somewhere 40 to 50 kgs. Yeah, definitely not easy to carry. So stepping into garden number 3, getting a bit sidetracked there. We have just been doing some planting. So we pulled out, I don't think there was anything in here for a while, but we have planted different types of cauliflowers all through the middle. And then we've got bush beans on the outer sides that you've seen us plant a few videos ago. And then that's just to stop the white butterflies laying the eggs and putting caterpillars, but I see a bit of slug damage there, so I'm going to have to put some slug bait out. Over here we've still got the zucchini jamming, but this bed is almost ready to go. This banana grass up here is providing a pretty good wind shelter. I've got a couple of gaps where some grapes are that I could plant some more of them, but probably not this season. Down here I've got some lettuce. That's all butter crunch lettuce. Most of it's looking happy. Some of it's dead, but I have got a lot of backup in a little greenhouse here. Over here is all of our Brussels sprouts. So we're getting a few Brussels sprouts forming down the bottom here. And these plants have gone right through the summer and they haven't got damaged much at all. But I have been feeding them up a storm too, so that's another reason why this looks so healthy, like comfrey tea and stuff like that. This bed here is another bed that I've got to do a bit of work on. I have got some kale. There is a couple of leeks there that probably can be pulled. And then down here, I've still got my pile of mess I was supposed to clean up ages ago. That's sort of, the grass is coming back to life, so yeah, that's my own fault. And we've got a few cabbages here that I can pull out. So this whole bed down here, apart from maybe the kale, can be all replanted. Probably going to be more brassicas, but we'll see what happens. And the next bed, I've got this yacon plant, underground apple. I don't really want it there, but it's there. Next to it I have all these sprouting broccolis. So we're getting some quite good heads on these. These have gone through all summer as well. Some of them are sort of just going a bit purpley, wanting to go to flower, but as long as we pick them before they go to flower, then they should be good. There's one here, and there's a couple of big beauties down here. There's one there. So this is the sprouting type, and it just, I reckon they're way better than just the single heads. Like, yeah, you get one big single head, but these have gone through the whole summer, and we've been having broccoli throughout summer where normally Normally you can't, they normally want to bolt and stuff like that, and you've got the pest pressure. Right next to that we have the purple sprouting broccoli, where it's getting their kind of first heads, and they're not great, but they're really tall, like they're kind of up to my chest in height here. So they're really tall, but they haven't really produced much yet. But I've got all these plants all down here, so hopefully as I'm coming into winter, these are going to actually produce some nice little broccoli heads. Next bit over here is a bit of a fixer-upper. The silver beet probably can go, a couple of lazy leeks, more silver beet, a couple of cabbages and kales and that we can pick down there, a few carrots. But basically it's a whole nother bed that's got to get ripped out. Probably put some more compost down and start planting some more stuff in here. So the last bed in here is, we've got carrots down the bottom here, and beans on the other side, and then tomatoes in the middle. So we're still getting quite a lot of tomatoes, and they're still quite nice. There's about 6 different types of tomatoes here, and we've thought they were dead a few times, but they still keep coming back, so that's really good. It's about an 8-meter row of tomatoes, and we've even got some big ones down here, even though these were all supposed to be cherry tomatoes. So this garden number 3 is looking very weedy. I've got a lot of work to do in here. I'm hoping next year this tithonia here, I need to plant a bit more of it, so it kind of shades out that that kikuyu grass and really kills it off. And this asparagus here, I don't know, I might put a few more barna grass there instead of the asparagus, because the grass just keeps creeping in and it's getting annoying to keep trying to maintain it all the time. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to do something there. And the other end over there is pretty much the same. I've still got to make some sort of situation there to stop the grasses from coming in. Over here is my okra alleys. I have 10 meters, if not more, of okras, and they're really tall. Some of them are like over my head, especially like this one up here, and I've got 4 rows. It's pretty weedy. There's some random gourds, bottle gourds that Debs does all her arty craft stuff with. They've just randomly popped up just from a wild plant that was in here. And we do have a bitter melon plant up there that was supposed to be across the whole trellis, but we went on holiday, the weeds surpassed me, and luckily I was able to save some of them, because yeah, but we haven't got any of them yet, so they might not make it to maturity. But yeah, that's pretty much this garden here. It's probably, I'd say it's probably, it might even be 20 meters long by I think 6 maybe. Yeah, but I included in that garden anyway. There's a bit of work to do here. Next year is definitely probably going to be kumara, a sweet potato. I'm going to put in here and move the okra somewhere else. I'm trying to move the crops around always. This here is garden number 2. This is our original garden over here. We have this bed here which is almost going to be pulled out, but we have some bean plants on the side, some marigolds that we put in between, and then we've got tomatoes all in between there. But the tomatoes are probably all ready to come out now, and we can get ready to plant some more stuff like onion and other winter crops. So it's done a good dash, that bed. It's just when the pigs got in here, that wasn't great, but you're gonna have to go back and look at that video to see what kind of damage they've done. In here, probably in the last video, or unless this video is before that video, I don't know, we planted a leek. So we've got I think it's 4 rows of leek in here. Not that you can see them, they're quite small, but yeah, we weeded all that out. It kind of looked like that bed, and weeded it all out. Me and the kids put a bit more compost in there and have planted a leek. This bed here, we just took the tarp off. It's got a bit of fixing up to do there, but I'm ready to plant this bed, but I need it to be like nighttime or morning, and it just hasn't happened yet. Down here, Adina's garden's down there. As you can see, if you've seen our transformation video, we mowed all this And yeah, now it's pretty much looks like before the transformation. So yeah, it's pretty shabby. Luckily I put a silage tarp on this bed that we raised up. The reason why we're raising all these beds is because it floods down here, and hopefully, my wife doesn't believe me, but hopefully this is going to stop the floods from happening. I do have this bed here, there's a bed there, believe it or not, and one behind the greenhouse to raise up. The one behind might get 3 beds, so it might be like, I don't know, half a meter high kind of thing. Here's the little greenhouse in here. It's like a wee jungle. This is where I eventually just want to do vegetable propagations, not propagations, just seed raising. But I've still got like fennel, lettuce, onions. I have got tamarillo and that there. Silver beets, kales, beetroots, cauliflower and broccoli, and we've got our Watts potato and some passion fruits and that. Yeah, and I've got the garlic that we'll be planting out maybe in 2 months. But yeah, this little greenhouse makes it way easier to do all our own vegetables from seed and save a heck of a lot of money. Okay, garden number 1, our original market garden, not really for selling, even though some things we do sell. Over here we did have our bottle gourds all along here, Deb's bottle gourds, but she's brought quite a lot up the top to dry out, and she does, like I said, her crafts and that with it. We've pretty much got this bed ready in our last episode, and we will be planting something in there. I'm just a bit clueless of what I'm planting yet in certain areas, because I have to put netting over some things to protect them, and yeah, a lot of pest pressure that I have to control. But the roses in the entrance, they're looking still pretty cool. They're pretty much done their dash with their roses though. Over here I have all my eggplants. So you see some of these are quite tall. They're about, this one's about head height, but they're still producing quite a lot of eggplants in here. I just picked probably a kg yesterday. Some of it's getting a bit of don't know what that is, but they're still doing very well. And I've pulled out all the corn out of there, but the beans, they have another burst of life, so they're actually we can probably start picking them again, so that's pretty cool. So I really love this interplanting of corn in the middle, eggplants, and then beans on the outside. It's worked out really well. Got quite a lot of crop out of it. You see this corn in here, I still haven't pulled it. I probably should pull it, because I think maybe the eggplants, they can just do with a bit more airflow in there. But I'm still getting eggplants out of there, so yeah, I'm pretty stoked with my eggplant season. Over here is my carrots, and we have been getting a heck of a lot of carrots this year, and it's probably, I reckon, carrots all about timing when you plant your seeds. And we planted them, I think it was end of October, just before we went on holiday. We planted them, and yeah, that was just before it started to get hot, so they done really good. And we've never had to buy carrots since this bed has started to get big carrots, so that's awesome. But I need that bed at some stage, so some stage we'll be pulling out all those carrots, but I'll be planting another bed of carrots somewhere else. Over here is beetroots, and as you can see, some of them are quite a monster of a size. And we tend to, most of us actually like beetroot. I like raw beetroot on my wraps and stuff like that, so it's quite a good crop for us. But again, I need this bed, so we'll be actually canning quite a lot of beetroot soon, and I'll be planting maybe some more brassicas or something like that in this bed. Down here is kind of like our herb bed, and that there was some elephant garlic planted in there, but it's actually getting taken over by Jerusalem artichoke, which their flowers are like high as, and there is some swan plants and stuff in there as well, and some white borage and some other flowers and that I just kind of let go to seed. But yeah, it's kind of like a neglected bed almost. Down here, me and Raven planted, so this is all different types of kale, and then we've got some giant silver beet down the end, so that we only planted like about a week ago, and they're looking really good. Again, we have netted this because of the white butterfly as well, so yeah, or else it'll get annihilated by those little caterpillars. So Yeah, over here we have rhubarb. There's probably about 6 meters of rhubarb, and we probably don't pick it often enough. And I've got some passion fruits, just some purple passion fruits, that's eventually going to kind of take over this trellis over here if I don't let the outside weeds get in. So there's some bindweed over there that I don't want it to creep inside the garden. But just past the rhubarb we have the tomatoes, and I've got 20 meters worth of tomatoes down here, and we've got peppers, which I did pick some the other day, so there's probably not a whole heap for you guys to actually see, but there's a few foremen in there. They're all pretty hidden away because the tomatoes, I've got to keep tying them and they keep getting coming down, and it's getting way on top of me. But we have a lot of tomatoes, like there is heaps. Debs has been canning up a storm, and we do have a lot of chilies down here as well. But yeah, the tomatoes, I mean, as you can see when I'm walking, they just keep going. Like they just never end. Some people have stopped their tomatoes now, but this is where they end. So right down all that way of tomatoes. So I think Debs will be happy once they do finish, because then she won't have to can stuff like tomato sauce and that. We're trying to get a year's supply, and just canned tomatoes and that. I mean, you use tomatoes quite a bit. They're like a #1 staple canning crop, so we love using them. These 4 beds here that you can hardly tell are beds, they have quite a bit of weed pressure, but we have had pumpkins grown in them. So as you can see here, pumpkin, and I think they're almost ready to harvest. What you want to do is look at their stalk down there, and when it's all dried up, probably even more dried up than that, then that's when to pick it. And by doing that, they should store a lot longer in your pantry, because there's quite a bit here. Like I didn't actually mention, I mentioned 4 beds, but there's actually another 4 beds over here where the corn is. So yeah, there's a lot of it. It's going to be quite a mean harvest when I actually put it all in the wheelbarrow. It'll be bigger than the potato harvest anyway. And that was 270 kgs. Let's see if we can get a ton of pumpkins, eh? So down here I have on the wall here, they're pretty much done for the season. These big things here, they are trambuccinis, or some people call them zucchini rambucanti, something like that. But we tried one the other night, and they are nice as they're like a pumpkin but sweeter. So they're kind of like a butternut squash. I've heard when you have them green, more like those ones, they taste more like zucchini. But I mean, who wants more zucchini? We've had like so much zucchini, we do not need more zucchini. So, and when they're like that, when they're golden and that, you can actually store them long term. So that's our plan. We're going to store them, and they're going to be a staple crop in the pantry. Oh, and we did have some watermelon down here, but every watermelon we pretty much picked was underripe. I probably planted them too late. Like here's one here, it looks yummy, doesn't it? It's gone rotten. Yeah, it wasn't a good watermelon season, basically because I planted too late. So as we come through these middle beds, as you can see through here, rats. I'm pretty sure it's rats have been eating all my corn. But we haven't been too phased, because we've still been able to pick some for ourselves, and luckily there's just a ton here that they haven't picked them all. Like, look at this one here. So I just unwrapped this one, and it's looking really good. And it tastes really good too. What's weird is this one was like right on the outside of the row, but yet the rats and that have decided to get the ones like in the middle. So I don't know, maybe like they're hiding from different predator or something. But yeah, it's just weird that they haven't picked the outside ones first, because this one was like a bigger one than those other ones anyway. So I'd say we've probably got like another 3 or 4 meals left of corn in here, if we can get them before the rats do. Are you hiding in the shade?
digging more holes in the garden.
So the last thing I should mention is this area here. Me and the kids weeded out a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago. We are actually planning a sand pit in this area, because then the little kids, they can come down here, play, we can do some weeding in that and not have to worry about them. There was a pool there, but it was impractical, and pretty much every time we drained it or went out to the garden, and we couldn't use chemicals in it because there will be chemicals in the garden. So I think a sand pit is better off, as long as the cats don't poop in there. That'll be the only thing, is trying to keep them out and inside. So that's pretty much it for the garden tour, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. And remember, we have a family of 8, so we've got a lot to feed. That's why we've got our big gardens, and we're still not being able to be fully self-sufficient. So we're trying. We're definitely not perfect, and we're learning every day. Yeah, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Remember, I do 1 vlog a week, and sometimes some how-to stuff. So yeah, keep posted for that, and I'll catch you guys later. Look out.